Let's talk about the best organization in baseball, Craig. That's the Philadelphia Phillies. Why? Wins and losses equal success. The Philadelphia Phillies are continuously getting it done right now. They did it last night. They're going to take on, again, the New York Mets today. Look for a 4-game short series sweep, home and home set. Quintana's going to be on the mound, the lefty for those Mets. Taijuan Walker going against his old team for the Phillies, and the Phillies are a favorite today. Do we see a 4-game set sweep here for the Phillies over the Mets?
You would have to say probably. I mean, right now the Phillies are the hottest team in baseball, and they're pitching extraordinarily well. They're hitting the ball. We have, Bohm is a potential MVP candidate. Bryce Harper's always an MVP candidate. And look, I've seen them up close and personal. Their starting pitching is going very deep into games. Maybe indeed that is the recipe for success in Major League Baseball, is getting your pitchers to go 7 or 8 innings, and maybe nothing else matters, not leaving it to the bullpen. That's what the Phillies have essentially done. Outside of that start that Wheeler had, which was shocking, Donnie, on Sunday against Miami. I don't know what happened in that game. But beyond that, the Phillies have just been fantastic. And look, I think the Mets are about a 500 team, maybe a little bit better, a little bit worse, but you can only beat who's on the schedule, so to speak. And the Phillies are doing just that.
And they have the most wins in all of the bigs at 31. Yeah. Late night in Los Angeles as a part of this short Thursday slate. Tyler Glasnow gets the start for the Dodgers, and it's reflected in the price. LA a minus 310 favorite as of this moment on the FanDuel Sportsbook, starting a 4-game weekend set in Los Angeles against the Reds. Now, Cincy, Craig, has dropped 12 of their last 14 games. It doesn't seem as though it will be any easier in L.A. Will it be on cruise control for the Dodgers tonight against the Reds?
I mean, look, it's a minus 300, so far be it from me to do anything except for look at a 1.5 maybe. I mean, you could do an alternate -2 or -2 runs and a half. It was really interesting, I thought, yesterday, maybe it was the day before, that the manager of the National League All-Star team, Torey Lovullo, I don't know if you guys caught this, but he added David Bell to his roster, and they're good buddies and have been together forever. Usually what happens, by the way, when a manager requests another manager to join the staff, it's because they're having a little bit of a shaky time, and that is definitely the case for David Bell. The Reds have just been underperforming all season long. Their expectation was, hey, look, maybe we finish 500, maybe a little bit better. It has not gone as planned, and now Nick Lodolo's on the injured list. So the vibes are not good in Cincinnati, and the Dodgers are tough to beat. So, simply put, I'm not going to take the money line with the Reds, but at the same time, I don't lay a 1.5 usually with the home team ever. Usually, if I'm going to do that, I would take a shot with the team on the road to get that extra run.
Teams playing well in Major League Baseball this year for the regular season race right now. The Phillies with 31 wins, followed by the Yankees at 29, the Orioles at 27, Dodgers 29, Braves 26, and the Guardians at 27. Teams that we pretty much expected to be at the top of the standings here. Are there any surprises to you, Craig? For me, being a Phillies fan, I'm surprised the Phillies have 31-13 as a record, because we usually wait till late August and September to start playing our best baseball. But everybody else on there, we're pretty much expected those teams.
Yeah, look, I think the Twins have been a surprise because they started off so poorly and have all of a sudden picked it up. Lately, the Rockies have been a positive surprise to win as many games as they have too, taking care of San Diego. That sort of came out of nowhere too. And on the negative perspective, look, I think the team that we didn't think would be in the conversation of trading players would be the Toronto Blue Jays. Like, they're really in a pickle right now. I mean, you would think that their window is now and has been and probably will be, but they're just not winning. So, Houston, from a negative perspective, too, they seem to be getting a little bit better, but nothing is out of the ordinary, I would say, this year. Maybe Oakland winning as many games as they did early on, as we've talked about, guys. Next weekend, when we start doing the shows after Memorial Day, we take a really definitive look as to who's in and who's out.
How about those Royals? 26 wins for KC, very much on track to go over a win total of 73.5 that Craig Mish and I are equally invested in. So, Craig, as we look elsewhere around MLB, really good pitching matchup tonight in the friendly confines. In the final 40 seconds of this segment, who gets the better tonight in Chicago? Justin Steele for the Cubbies, Jared Jones, the Rook, for the Buccos.
Yeah, I may, Pittsburgh's not playing good ball, at all. But I may lean Pittsburgh here. Steele, remember, is not getting deep enough into games, I think, to make a huge impact. And while the Cubs bullpen has been good, I think Jones is definitely right now the hotter starter of the two. So I probably would lean a little toward the road team tonight. The Cubs have had all kinds of issues in the ninth inning as well. Steele later on in the season, guys, he's going to be an 8-inning pitcher, maybe even a 9-inning pitcher. But coming off the injured list, he's made a few starts. I still would probably be hesitant to take the Cubs today.
Chicago's starting staff this year has been really good. All right, Craig, you got about 40 minutes to really dive into the Giants Century red jersey.
Yeah,
We
right.
look forward to that on Newswire at 11 a.m. Eastern. More on the early line next. A short Thursday slate around Major League Baseball. Only 6 games on the card as of this moment as the rest of the bigs get ready for a weekend ahead. But the series finale of 3 during the midweek in Minneapolis between the Twins and the Yankees. The Yanks have won both games to start this series 5-1 on Tuesday, 4-0 yesterday, led by Aaron Judge. The Twins at home, Donnie, have only scored 1 run in 2 games. Does that change with some afternoon baseball on this Thursday in Minnesota? The Twins booked as a slight home favorite, minus 116 on the money line. Total is 8. Are we going to see some offense out of Minnesota?
Here's what's interesting about this one. You take a look at Clark Schmidt, who's been decent this season. On the whole season, 174 batters. But let's take a look at what he's been doing from the first half of the season to just the last 30 days. In the last 30 days, he's really taking it on the chin right now with left-handed batters. A 244 ISO and a weighted on-base percentage of 364. But he's been electric against right-handed batters. Now, the lineup just came out, as I'm looking here, for the Minnesota Twins. And the interesting part is most of the key ingredients are in this lineup, and it is a lot of left-handed batters, which you're going to like. But the best batter in the lineup is Ryan Jeffers. Even over the last 30 days, Ben. 421 ISO power number to 449 weighted on-base percentage against right-handed pitching. Now, I just told you, Clark Schmidt's been very good against right-handed batters, but typically you like your best guy in there. But he is a catcher. He's not in the lineup today, so maybe an extra lefty will get in there. Once these lineups sort of formulate, and I can see the statistics on that, I sure can make some changes. But a lot of left-handed bats in the lineup. Minnesota should be game in this one. If we flip it over to the other side and take a look at the Yankee batters in this game, you're saying to yourself, all right, who should be able to provide what we need at the plate? Well, granted, a lot of these guys are starting to get hot. First 6 batters in the lineup, every single one of them is a 167 or higher ISO power number against right-handed pitching. But if we look at the season, Joe Ryan hasn't been that bad. Combined ISO power number, 159. Weighted on base percentage, 279. That's really good here. 65-degree temperatures, but finally, wind was blowing in yesterday, blowing dead out to center field at 10 miles per hour. Maybe a team total is a look today for the Minnesota Twins. They got to score sooner or later. They have left-handed bats. They should be able to get some today.
4th and final game of a divisional duel during this week in Fenway between the Red Sox and the Rays. The Rays have won games 1 and 3. Boston victorious in game 2. Can they get the series split of 4 today? It's been a pick'em in the series. It's a pick'em in the 4th and final game today. Minus 108 now on FanDuel on both sides. Total is 8. What gives in Boston?
Rain in the forecast, Ben, about 55 degrees, wind blowing in 9 miles per hour, probably looking more towards an under in this environment. Zach Littell will be on the mound, and over the past 30 days, he's been good. ISO power number you'd like to look at is a 118, well below average. His weighted on base percentage, 315. That's just under average, so he's been pretty good. First 4 batters in the lineup today do look decent for the Red Sox, but again, it's all about who that pitcher is going to be and can you take advantage of that. Cooper Criswell on the opposite side here for the Boston Red Sox. 83 batters he's faced, Ben, in the last 30 days. How about this? A 141 ISO and a weighted on base percentage of 266. If we take a look at his season-long numbers, doesn't walk too many guys, strikes out around 25%. We're probably looking at an under today in Fenway with those weather conditions and with those pitchers.
We've seen at least 7 runs in all 3 games so far between Tampa and Boston, but every pregame total has been 8 or higher, so we have stayed under in all 3 games so far. Are the Astros starting to turn things around? Houston has won 4 straight. Houston has won 5 of its last 6. Can they complete the sweep this week over Oakland? It's greater than a $2 favored chance to do just that. Christian Javier on the bump for the Stros, minus 210. That hefty favorite money line price. Will it be 5 in a row for the Astros?
It probably will be. And yesterday, a little bit disappointing for me. I thought the Astros would win, which they did, and they got a shutout. But I thought they would score 5 runs in that game against a journeyman that was on the mound. Didn't happen, even though they scored 2 runs in the first inning. If we take a look at today, Estes will be on the mound here as we're anticipating for the Oakland Athletics. Not many statistics, but not a very good pitcher. Just a matter of Houston can scrape out a couple runs. And as I say that, though, Christian Javier on the opposite side, he hasn't been all that good this season and hasn't been that good in the last 30 days, which he has missed some time with. If you're looking in the middle of that lineup here for the Astros, who could they get out? It would be Rooker, Langoliers, and Soderstrom there. Those are the RBI guys for the Oakland Athletics. For Houston, which I got an RBI taken away last night from Kyle Tucker, who in the first inning had a double, but they chose to give an error and no RBI. He's probably the best of it as well today. Kyle Tucker should be a good RBI shot again for the Astros.